In the Apuseni mountains, there lies a place that horror films can't quite capture. Satul Geamăna, once a vibrant village, now a silence broken only by wind and decay. What happened here is not a myth. It is negligence, betrayal, contamination, perhaps something more restless. They forced these people from their homes, promising safety, growth, riches. What remained was a toxic lake, swallowed homes, a cemetery drowned, and a steeple poking above poison. But some say the past does not stay beneath sludge. It whispers. The story begins in 1977 under Romania's communist regime. Up in the Apuseni mining district, rich copper deposits were found. Authorities demanded land. Satul Geamăna, with hundreds of families, lush fields, wooden houses and a central church, stood in the way. Residents were told they'd be relocated, compensated, that they'd drive off the mining boom. But the truth was cruel. The waste from the copper mine, toxic sludge, sterile, as locals called it, began to flow into the valleys. Fields dying, streams reddening as if blood were bleeding into water. Fruit trees dropped, animals fell ill. Year by year, the lake of toxic sludge rose. Roofs, roads, graves, even the village graveyard sank beneath it. Only the steeple of the church remained visible above the poison. Houses were abandoned, memories evacuated, lives uprooted. They say when you stand on the shore at sunset, the water turns rust orange, a sickly yellow. The edges of the lake hiss with insects, locals long gone, but not gone. Some nights, after rain, water splashes near the submerged houses that used to be people's doorsteps. Whispers, perhaps just the wind, carry echoes of laughter, children's voices, footsteps on boards long gone beneath the water. An old inhabitant named Nicolae Prața once said the first bad sign was when the cherry and plum trees started to wither. Maybe they sensed the poison that was the only underground. The trees as watchers, silent witnesses. There are rumors. One local claimed they saw a pale figure gliding on the sludge water at night, silhouette by moonlight, arms outstretched. Invented or real? Nobody knows. Another, when photographing the church steeple at dawn, swears a face appeared behind the cross for a second in the window frame. The church's steeple stands alone, defiant. It's built higher on ground, so it was spared complete immersion. But it is said to be haunted. At night, from deep inside the hollow tower, people hear a slow tolling. Not of bells. There are no functioning bells. But something echoes like a bell's ghost. Others say that if you peer through its highest window during fog, you might see dim candles flickering, though there's no electricity there. There are also claims that the cemetery is not fully empty. Graves below the sludge still holds bodies. On certain moonless nights, a sorrowful sob can be heard coming from the water. as though the dead are calling from beneath. The water is poisonous, cyanide, heavy metals, toxic sludge. Fish cannot survive. Vegetation dies. There are warnings, but tourism still brings curiosity seekers. Many capture beauty, turquoise red lake, ruined roofs, surreal reflection, but beauty poisoned. Locals worry that the lake, the waste pond, grows with every storm, overflowing pipes, barriers under pressure. The church steeple may one day be lost, swallowed. Some locals who remain claim physical ailments, coughs, skin irritations, stomach pains, in the old boundaries of the land. When tragedy is this large, it breeds legends. They say at midnight, when mist rolls off the lake, you'll see lights drifting across the surface, ghost lights, or just reflections. One visitor claimed they saw a child's laughter echo in the empty streets once occupied by children, then silence. Another story, a woman who lost her home cries at the edge of the lake each year on the anniversary of displacement. No one knows which of these stories are true, but they feed the darkness. Geamăna is more than an ecological disaster. It is a tragedy of entire lives, of homes stolen, of memories submerged. It is beauty and horror intertwined. As the steeple stands half sunken, the ghosts beneath, if they exist, will not be forgotten. If you were standing on that shore tonight, listening to the hush of poisoned water, what would you feel? Fear? Sadness? What if you heard a child's voice in the dark? Like, comment your deepest thoughts, share this story so it isn't lost under sludge, and subscribe if you want more hidden horrors from Romania, places where the dead don't rest and the living remember.